Right, so the Democrats were incredibly hopeful, very optimistic. They've taken back control of the House of Representatives. Trump's still spinning this in his unique way as a total victory. How come?
I don't know what his method or his thinking is, but I must say I'm ecstatic. And the liberal networks are very, very long-faced tonight. They were expecting, I mean, there usually is a big pickup in the first midterm election. So, for example, in Obama's first midterm, he lost 63 seats in the House and 6 Senate seats. We not only didn't lose the Senate, which is the most important body, that's the one that confirms judges and will also decide if Trump gets removed from office or anything else the House does, but we picked up a bunch of seats. We don't know how many yet. That is so important, and we just saw it. I mean, I think I'm glad Trump gave all those rally speeches, but I really think Justice Kavanaugh has a lot more to do with that. His confirmation hearing was quite a spectacle, quite performance art, and I think that really got a lot of Americans thinking maybe that isn't the body we should be turning over to the hands of the Democrats. Okay. But it does make me, if I could say,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me just jump in, because what struck me as surprising, it may not have struck you as surprising, but the economy in America is doing very well. Everybody agrees with that. Even Democrats that hate Trump have to grudgingly admit the economic numbers are good, the job numbers are good, there's consumer confidence. There's a great story to be told. Normally, any incumbent president with numbers like this, that's all he'd be banging on about. But Trump instead pivoted into immigration, 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 very incendiary rhetoric all through the build-up to this midterms, very divisive rhetoric in many ways. And it seemed to me unnecessary to do that. Why does he feel the need to constantly inflame the opposition and people that don't like him, rather than at least try and unify the country by saying, hey, things are going well, the economy's good, why don't we all just get along?
That would be so not Trump, by the way.
Well, first of all, why not talk about the economy? I think people know how well they're doing economically. And how'd you like to hear somebody boasting about how great the economy is if you're one of the people who just lost your job? I mean, people know if they got a raise or if they feel like they're doing well. You don't need to constantly harp on that. And as it turns out, that the #1 issue for most people is immigration. It is not so divisive. It's called divisive, but Trump's position on immigration was the position of Obama, of Hillary Clinton, of Senator Dianne Feinstein, of Senator Harry Reid, all Democrats, not very long ago. I mean, I don't know if it would make a difference, but I do kind of wish that Trump would come out and give a serious Oval Office address and say, you know, I may use some wild rhetoric sometime and campaigns are heated, but I think we need to protect the people who are already here and play videos of Obama agreeing with him, of Cesar Chavez agreeing with him. We have to protect Americans over foreigners, whether they are legal or illegal.
Ann, I agree that every one of his predecessors that I can remember, because I was on air in America when they were saying it, right, has always talked tough on immigration, talked tough about the southern border and so on. But what I haven't seen and what I found personally distasteful last week was this whole thing of the migrant caravan, this group of a few thousand people fleeing, you know, awful parts of the world, have nothing in their lives, and they're walking towards America. They're thousands of miles away. It's going to take them a month to get anywhere near it. The last time this happened, only a handful were let into the country. And Trump's response is to turn this into an invasion. He sends thousands of troops to the border to deal with this invasion. And it was, to me, very poisonous, unnecessary, over-inflammatory, wildly exaggerated rhetoric, purely to aim to his base. And again, I just say to you, as someone I know has been very vocal about immigration, I simply say, at what point does President Trump pivot to be a more inclusive president and stop just playing that card in the way that he's been playing it?
Well, I insist that it is not divisive, and this is inclusive. I mean, normally the divisive issues between Republicans and Democrats have been Republicans always want to cut taxes. Republicans want to go to war. Republicans are the party who are going to have, mandatory Bible reading. Trump's position on immigration does cut across party lines. It's really speaking up mostly for the working class and people whose jobs are being taken by both legal and illegal immigrants. As for the caravan, look, it may be this one caravan, but there are constant streams of caravans leading to, according to two Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporters, about 3 million illegal aliens per year coming into our country. So it's not, I mean, this caravan is symbolic of having a wide open border.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to argue against him on that, and I have and I will, that's why we wanted a wall, Mr. President.
Yep.
That was his campaign slogan. It's been 2 years he hasn't built the wall. You don't have to worry about the caravans, and we can let people in.
And final question. Does what happened in the midterms, which has not been the blue wave, the Democratic surge that the Democrats had hoped, but they have got back control of the House, does it mean that Trump is more or less likely now to get re-elected in 2020 in the main election?
I'm glad you asked that. I think a lot more likely to get elected, because what the Democrats are going to do, I mean, I suppose the smart Democrats will tell them, please don't do this, but they can't help themselves. They're going to be having investigation after investigation. They're going to be subpoenaing everything in sight, and that's going to annoy voters who want things done that will make their lives better and don't want to hear any more about Russia and don't want to hear about Trump's taxes. I mean, it will gin up the Democratic base, and I think the Democratic base is going to demand it. It won't lead to anything because we just picked up more seats in the Senate, and it's the Senate that removes the president. So I think this has very much helped Trump's re-election.
Less likely to be impeached, more likely to be re-elected. Ann Coulter, thanks very much indeed.